movie.
It was like this was all in that 27-hour thing, and it was just yeah, we were living it.
And while you guys are up discussing the lights for a shot, I remember Dottie saying, "This is purgatory."
Yeah, I know. Well, okay. Well, in the background, outside, behind this house, what's going on? We talked about it earlier. I think Daniel mentioned it about the veterinarian and the all the dead animals, and Dorothy getting shot in the leg with formaldehyde. But anyway, so I said, we have to get rid of these. We just have to get rid of them. And so someone stacked them like logs and behind this house, poured gasoline over, and set fire to it and walked away like they were going to vanish. And then when we wrapped, I walked out back to this vision of these giant marshmallows roasted. It was just terrible, and the smoke was blowing into the set during that time.
Yeah, it was basically the gasoline only burned the fur off of them.
Yeah, right.
It was really horrible.
It was really horrible.
No, you did that on purpose.
No, I don't.
Anything for art.
What? What did they have in their minds?
This is where we really have lost control. I mean,
yeah.
I had no perspective. I had no idea that I had a life other than this. And I didn't. My housemate's girlfriend had moved in and was living with us for a month, and I didn't know it during the filming of this movie.
Is that right?
Yeah, they...
Yeah, and the design of this, at this point, I mean, you can't expect how is she going to get away now. She can't get out of this. So I think it's the first film that a heroine jumped through a window, a plate glass window, twice. He's skitzing off. I'm only going to take... Oh.
There's the shot. Right there.
Yeah. Looks like she's got Ed pretty good. Okay, now here comes of course, this sequence. Remember, Daniel, we had to wait for the sun to travel 800 or 900 miles to come get clouds. I mean, to get in front of the sun, so all of this could be graded as early morning.
Mm-hmm. And this is where, if you remember, you had the track laid diagonally across the road, and you'd close the road off, and the sheriff came through the flaggers, pulled up within 2 feet of the track, and I think the production manager came up and said, "We have permission to close the road," and he said, "From who?" Yeah. And you said the state police, and he said, "This is my county."
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think that was Jim Boutwell, famous for during the Charlie Whitman Tower incident of grabbing an airplane, flying around the tower solo, and shooting his pistol at Whitman in the tower. Now, you should tell how you shot.
Yeah, that was backward. The truck was in reverse. We took just using the cab, and
we'd run because of 16 millimeter, we were able to turn the camera upside down and shoot it backwards going away, and then Tobe then flipped the film in the edit and comes back right side up and backwards.
Love the name of this, Black Maria.
Yeah.
What?
Wasn't that Edison's film studio, Black Maria?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, all during the filming, I'm saying to Tobe, "How are we going to shoot this scene where I get hit in the leg?" And Tobe would say, "I don't know, but don't worry about it. It's the last shot in the movie." And I'd think, "Oh, that's good." And then I'd realize what he meant was, if you're killed, we've got the movie in the can.
But as I recall, that when the saw goes in and it does that, you had a metal plate on your leg, but the heat
and so
caused you
So I actually thought I'd been hit. I actually thought it cut through me.
Is that right? Yeah.
I remember that. It was a metal plate with a nice beef brisket on top of it.
And a blood
That's
bag,
right.
yeah. And here, in this little piece, Marilyn was so slow and dramatic climbing into the back of the pickup that we had to do it over and over and over again because I kept catching her.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, on this one, she got in time, and then the guy didn't drive away. And so I started climbing the truck. I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, that's good. It almost looked like it clipped her.
Now, this was my favorite thing in the movie because when we were swinging the saw and I could barely see, at one point I looked out and saw through the little tiny eye hole Danny running away because he was trying to avoid being hit. And behind him was Tobe with a cigar in his mouth and one of the producers. And they were scurrying away to keep from being hit by the saw. So I started swinging the saw at you.
That last shot was, a moment out of a much longer take, but it was quite a choreography dance of the two of us, me with the camera and Gunnar with the saw swinging. That was just one of those magical moments, of filmmaking, where everything just starts working. The light was working for us. His action, I was fortunately moving in the right direction to avoid the saw, and it just worked out really nicely.
And that was, by the way, sunset.
Sun up, wasn't it?
Well, it's sunset up in the story, but wasn't it sunset actually?
Yeah.
Must have been sunset.
Yeah, right.
If we did it now, it'd be sunrise.
Yeah, right.
They must have taken us all down. Well, I remember that at that point we had that was the first day that McClary was working as a camera assistant that day. Lou had quit, I guess. He said I'd been rude to him, and Lou had...
Is that right?
Yeah. We had a few quittings and things go on, a few personnel changes.
There's so much I don't hear till later. It's amazing.
Right.
No, it's true, too.
Kids are always that way with their parents.
I remember because we had made McClary the assistant, and I remember getting ready to shoot the shot and tipping the camera. I was talking, and I had my one hand out, and I tipped the camera down, and the lens fell off and landed right in my hand. And oh my God, this new assistant, oh man, the lens is falling out of the camera. Oh no, what's this going to be like?
But it turned out okay.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, it did.